Stuff going on. All right. Get started on Facebook. Hello, Facebook world, and hello, Zoom land. Wonderful to have you all here this evening. And as you hop on, I'm gonna get started, but I was just saying, I know Friday nights are sometimes they get busy with things going on. However, I really felt like um number one, staying accountable to doing my Friday nights because I actually had this evening to do it. Next Friday night, I'm not going to do my meditation, but we're going to we're going to start having tea parties for Creator Sphere. And there's certain nights where I'm at sports, so I can't guide a meditation, but next week I'll be at basketball, but I'm going to we're going to have a tea party where we basically go into uh, a space and sort of talk about a subject. So it's more interactive, and then we break out in breakout rooms and we talk about. We're going to be sort of going through the four true choices, and things like that over the next month. And so once a week, we're going to have a tea party where we can just go spill the tea and talk and get some major shifts happening. It's a lot of fun. So that'll be next week. So tonight, I mean, we have a full moon coming up. And good evening, Heather. Welcome. I didn't say hello yet. Um, we have the first super new moon coming up in exactly a week. So that'll be running into next Friday, Saturday. And I know a lot of people have been sort of feeling this energy shift of February, I know a lot of people are saying, God, January was a long year, but we made it through. Like January felt like a lot happened in a short amount of time. And we're going to sort of be feeling that into February, March, as well as we have this rollout of no planets in retrograde and everything really moving forward. And so one of the things that just kind of kept coming into my mind was sort of shedding um, some of these old lack type, scarcity type energies that have still been sort of hanging out, some of those shadowy energies that we've had that have been brimming up to the surface and all this light that we've been having. We had Imbolc happen, which is basically a pagan holiday that is celebrated because it is the marking of sort of right between winter solstice and spring equinox. So it's like this balance point. And so the pagans had this goddess that they worshipped, Bridget, and they make a Bridget cross with plants, and they light red or white candles and are just grateful for the light starting to increase. You literally see the days starting to become longer. It's literally that shifting point of light, the signal to the earth and to the universe that we are starting this new season. So it's interesting in the southern hemisphere because you feel that a little bit more into the wrapping up of full potentials. And so we have that in the background. And then in the northern hemisphere, we have this kind of wrapping up of winter where the seeds are starting to gather their knowledge about starting to germinate and flourish and gather all the nutrients they need to under the earth to start coming up. And so with Imbolc, it's great to do ceremony with cinnamon, where we put cinnamon on our hands, and it being the beginning of the month, it's a beautiful time to do that too. So I always say use lots of cinnamon essential oil around this weekend. Um, Light your candles, have like baths with cedar in them and bay leaves, and do like plant baths, Epsom salts baths, sea salt baths, grounding, and feasting. It's Imbolc is a fun one because it's all about feasting, and it's about feasting on rich, like breads and pancakes and muffins and butters and um, dairy and very rich type of foods. So a lot of people have in bulk meals where it's just like carb crazy and it's so yummy. So there's a lot to be said about feasting in this light, just allowing all this light to come in. It's kind of a beautiful time. So I thought I would start to this day, this session off with just giving us a little bit of a cosmic update. But my intention is to do a meditation at the end where we are truly stepping into our higher selves, where we're truly stepping into that version of ourselves that we're ready to become, because we have a lot of cosmic influence supporting us to get there right now. So as I'm speaking just about this weekend and this week to come, it'll it'll help, you'll understand as well why I wanted to do this particular meditation tonight, just to be able to really shed some stuff that we've probably been coming into alignment with seeing anyways. I mean, it's really happening for people. Some it's felt like a punch in the gut, and some it's felt like huge aha moments and like epiphanies where you're almost laughing because you're just like, oh my gosh, like I've been asking to see this for so long, and here it is. It just didn't necessarily come in the exact way that we expected it to. Like, for example, um, coming over, getting around, understanding our worth can come in seeing some pretty crazy things out there. The world is kind of a crazy place, and there's a lot of people that um, seem to have no problem just taking, they seem to have no problem receiving. Yet there's others that have been making these karmic deposits for so long. They're such good people and they're such amazing people and they're so deserving and so worthy. And I can see it, when I'm working with them. I'm like, does that help you to see not just that there are people out there that are not doing great things, but can seem to manifest what it is that they want as far as um, safe finances and money. Like there's this discord of people and power, and these really crappy people can have a lot of money. And I'm talking like politicians, I'm talking like major CEOs, I'm talking about the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world, they can be terrible people, yet they can manifest money like it's coming out of their yin yang because they truly feel that they're deserving and worthy. They have no repellent of money, they have only attraction. And it got me to thinking about the law of attraction and how things really work. And so, some of the understandings that we can have, even if we're seeing things that we don't resonate with or we don't like, it's triggering us for a reason. And that is because it should be us. And I think there's people that are seeing this week, this month, this beautiful this beautiful 8 year that we're having is allowing us to see our true worth and to see how much we really deserve it and to finally really feel it for the same time. So I wanted us to think a little bit about, just how, if especially if we're feeling stuck in something, because when we're stuck in something, it's not that we're stuck. I was joking around last week saying, nay, nay, you are not stuck. But really, what it is that this allows us, that feeling stuck allows us this chance to have this like real dynamic shift. This is where in that space is where we can make the change, right? We're being called to make change for the greater collective. Think about if people like us, people that are good people, people that are putting good out there and feeling good out there and love the animals and love the children of the world and want to make change. Imagine if we were to have the kinds of money that Jeffrey Epstein did. And just imagine, and I get goosebumps thinking about that because it's happening. It's shifting. The powers that be, we're figuring out these laws of attraction that they have figured out. We're figuring out this conscious creation. And we're understanding that the universal laws aren't listening to words. They're not listening to what we're saying. They're not listening to the stories necessarily. What the laws of the universe are reverberating to is the vibration and how we're really feeling. And so this gives us a good opportunity before we head into our cosmic update and into our meditation to look at something that you've been sort of feeling stuck in, whether it's relationships, career, finances, health, whatever that area might be. I want you to just think about how you're feeling about it for real. If I was to ask you, how do you feel about money? Is it kind of like a ugh sort of feeling that you're getting when it comes to money? It's like a just, that overall feeling that can be enough to repel or not allow us to receive. And so that's why things like a little morning routine or a little daily intention setting or a little bit of a break during the day to actually meditate with the affirmations, with the beliefs, with the feelings of abundance being everywhere, really feeling it that it's possible. I was joking with one of my clients. We were talking about that Stuart Smalley um, character on Saturday Night Live that he used to be, and he'd stand in front of the mirror and say, "Gosh darn it, people love me. I'm amazing." And he'd stand in front of, and it's funny because it's true. If we start telling ourselves that, if we start retraining our brain with those stories instead of other stories, we do start believing it. Not that I feel like we should just be saying things that we don't feel in the mirror. But if we set that intention every day, if we actually, when you look at the millionaires, they all have this little millionaire morning routine they do. And this is the one commonality in studying this a lot that I've seen, and they just don't sway from it. They have this routine where they dedicate to themselves. They give themselves evidence of their worth every single day when they get up and they brew their favorite green tea. They take a couple minutes to ground in their room before they even leave their bedroom to go to the bathroom. They'll ground their feet. They'll be grateful. They'll go into a few, gratitude affirmations. I'm so grateful that I woke up this morning. I love feeling my blood pumping through my body. It's such a gift to play this game of life again today. Just kind of feel that gratitude. This is what I do. I'm trying to sort of really work into my schedule, making this every day happen. And it was always like, I'm trying, but now it's like, I just really feel inspired to do this. And I really feel like, what if I really just dedicated myself to doing this for 6 or 8 or 10 weeks, like going to the gym. We go to the gym, we're not going to get those results in 2 or 3 days. We have to kind of stay consistent. We know that consistency is the key because this is the way our brain works. So really retraining it to be able to bring us forward. And so I'm going to talk about this week's cosmic influences to help us see how much this is really apparent with all the planets where they are. It's really bringing us into our health and our bodies. This is a physical year. Last year was all about sort of going in and getting in touch with ourselves and what's holding us back. Now it's shedding that, letting it go, and receiving, allowing ourselves to really get that flow. And today being a power day, it's a 2-2 day, it's not a master day. Yesterday was a master day. Today is what we call a power day. And that's where we have this kind of reminder coming in to tell us how much we really impact the world. And that got me thinking about how much we could impact the world if we had more abundance, how much we could do if we were able to really tap into what we know we're meant to have, like to really allow us to get rid of all of those old scarcity mindsets. I mean, think about how well trained we were to live in lack and poverty and all of these stories that we were told just because they tried their best. When I've been doing sessions this week, when we go into ancestry and familial rules of lack and stories, I'm getting goosebumps again. I'm feeling it so strong when I'm doing the recodes. There's so much there that's just being cleansed and cleared this week. So I wanted to be able to do that for you guys tonight. Um, Especially for those that don't have, the opportunity to have a one-on-one. This kind of gives you the chance to um, uh, benefit from some of that because I'm feeling like it's just really necessary. So as of tomorrow, tomorrow is actually that 7 day mark to the super new moon. So we start to feel this kind of like influx of urging of decisions that we need to make, and um, urging of things that we have been waiting, the answers that we've been sort of waiting to arrive. And one of the analogies was it might feel like bubbles bursting a little bit this weekend. You may have had some opportunities even that you kind of thought you were sort of counting on, or you were really even maybe looking forward to, or you had been really working towards, even spending a lot of time on. They may just kind of fall flat, and they may actually um, even you may even lose some things. Like a friend of mine is a huge entrepreneur. He had one of the most major losses in one of the companies, but he turned it around right away because this is the way he is, and figured out the lesson right away. And my lesson is I have to actually do this when I'm investing. Not when I can't be just a silent partner. I have to actually have some advisory on the board. I have to be involved because it drives me nuts if I'm not. So figured that out right away. Did he lose a few $1 million? Yeah, probably. But some lessons are harder than others. For others, it may just be, oh, that thing didn't work out, kind of crappy. Oh, here's the other door opened right away. So it's extremes in many ways, but it's all kind of about how we're handling it, right? And how we're going to sort of coast through. And if we're stressed out, if we're not eating right, if we're not sleeping right, if we're not drinking enough, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're stressed out about work, if we have something going on that's stressing us out, we're not going to react the same as we would if we were grounded, feeling calm, feeling balanced. So this is kind of like this this balance sort of thing is happening for us, whether we kind of want it to or not. But as it balances out, it could just be um a little bit weird. It might get a little bit weird. So knowing that, it's not a bad thing. This actually means that now there's multiple possibilities because certain things have needed to end. It's never a bad thing. Now that this has happened, he's probably going to find something that's way better, make probably triple the amount of money. That's the way it works, especially with people with his mindset. For others, we may not have considered some of these things before. We might be like, why is this happening now? But it all has to do with the energy that we've been really honing in on come the beginning of January. And so this is an opportunity for us to kind of like restart every day the way we want it to, being conscious of it, making those choices, and knowing that it with the way Jupiter is right now, it's actually a big influencer this weekend, and it's sort of putting all the attention on self-preservation, on setting up healthy boundaries. It's respecting our body, speaking up for ourselves. And the throat chakra is going to kind of open up this week a little bit too, where we can sort of be our weird selves a little bit, where we can actually have Mercury helping us out to kind of say what it is that we really want to say without offending, or without, we're going to actually be able to just feel the right words coming out. We're going to tap into our intuition a little bit more. But this weekend is kind of a focus on physical changes that you want to make in your life, in your body. So we're talking diet, exercise, movement, maybe physio or strength training, or even your emotional well-being. So it's been noted that it's not a bad time to have a little energy work, or go get your nails done, or go have a pedicure, or go have go to a meditation class, or try new meditation on YouTube. It could be free stuff, right? Try some Qigong or some Tai Chi online that you found that you thought would maybe be kind of fun. It's a really nice time to actually really maybe even try something new energetic wise, or have an energetic clearing. Or this is kind of why I did this tonight too, do a meditation where you're stepping into your higher self and just dial that in for this weekend, because that's really what this weekend should be about. um it's almost like a check-in point to, am I balanced, am I not balanced, where do I need to create more balance, where could I trust my instincts a little bit more, where could I tweak this a little bit. And you're going to come up with these things where you're just doing something and you're like, I don't even want to be doing this right now. You're going to be inspired to do what it is that you do want to do. To You can actually think, am I helping myself or am I harming myself? There's a few different ways we'll sort of tap into that. Am I doing this from love? Am I doing this from fear? So noting that we're literally kind of at that halfway point, it's like perfect time for meditation, cleansing, smudging, clearing your home, your body, your workspace. You've probably even felt a little inspired to clean up some clutter again, or just kind of like, my office is driving me crazy. I really want to clean it, has been going through my head a lot. I've been sort of doing little bits of it, but today I actually decided that I was so busy trying to do all this stuff that I was incapable of doing. And I just thought, you know what? Screw this. I'm not an accountant. I'm taking this to an accountant. I went and I dropped it all off, and it felt so good to just leave all this stuff that wasn't mine to deal with in the first place, but I was taking care of, and it was taking away all my time. I just literally went, here. You do it. I will pay you whatever you need to charge me to just do this, because I'm not. And it was like, now I have hours tonight after that I can actually sort of put my office back together, because it's got the board stuff in one corner, and like it's ridiculous. It felt so good to just be able to delegate, to hand off things that maybe we've been hanging on to, because it was such an easy solution. It's just, I don't know why I didn't do it before. So today, this weekend is kind of about being the change, doing the things that we've been talking about. Have a little sacred ceremony, do a little in bulk bringing in the light, sort of a intention setting for the new moon. Start thinking about, we're in this sort of pre-new moon, super new moon phase. So start thinking about what it is that you really do want to feel, to experience, to achieve in the next, body's releasing, in the next few months. What is it that you really want to um what is it that you really want to bring into the world, right? This, especially for the entrepreneurial soul, it's like we can affect others so strongly, especially this week. What do you have, what is inside of you that you could share with the world to just create more light? Um, and speaking of which, I have to say thank you to Heather. I'm torn. Heather sent me this beautiful painting that she did of me, and we're calling it Shaman Jackie, because I looked like a shaman. I was actually going to bring it downstairs and put it up behind me, and I'm like, would it be weird to have, will I be like one of those aristocrats that has like the painting of them behind them? And like, would that be weird? But I think I might do it next week and just put it up behind me and see how it looks and see what you guys think. And someone else gave me a dragon painting on a rock, and I was like, "Ooh, it's the year of the dragon." I'm like, "Ooh, maybe it's time to change up my set a little bit." So I'll put it up next week, and you guys can let me know if I look like an aristocrat. And I was, you know what, for the first time, I was like, "Damn it, I should feel like an aristocrat." I have a shaman painting that one of my clients painted for me and sent to me and is now in my possession. I was so grateful, Heather. So thank you. It's so beautiful. So awesome. I've never had such a nice gift. That was very, very sweet. And Samara, I was enjoying my jam this morning. Samara, when I got to see her, she gave me this beautiful jam that I've never tried before in my whole life. And my kids and I were like fighting over it this morning. I've been savoring it. And I thought, why am I saving it? I should be using it. But I remembered, always, if someone gave me something, I would save it. I would like save it to the point where it would go bad, because it was a gift and I wanted to cherish it and I didn't want to use it all up. And it's like the best thing we can do is use it and put it up. And so, thank you guys. You're so wonderful. I feel so blessed. So, as we dive into our week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll give you a very quick overview before we hop into meditation. Um, Monday is really, sorry,
Hello.
were you going to say something?
No.
Okay.
Um,
I just love my painting. It's so cool. So Monday is all kind of about reinvigorating your daily health routine. And I wanted us to, on Wednesday, when we're in group, what we're going to do is we're going to go over a bit of a millionaire mindset morning routine, because we have them with lenses, we have them with the Life Mapper. But if you think about it, The universe may even have opened up doors where you have time. You probably have 2 hours in the morning where you can spend, or maybe an hour in the morning, maybe half an hour in the morning, where you can spend some time doing a little meditation, doing a little intention setting, doing a little, grab your tea and just feel good and just, do a little bit of journaling, do a little. What if we kind of committed to this gym routine for the next 6, 8 weeks to really until retrogrades start again? Just kind of give it a little go as to um, really dialing in what it is that we need to do that day. Maybe for me, I know it's posting. So if I incorporate that posting in the morning and I get it done every morning, it's done. And then I have all day to fill it with the rest of the stuff that I always fill it with. I feel like we're kind of being called right now to sort of um, look at if we're acting from habit or if we're acting from potential. And I want us to work from potential rather than habit, because habit is what we've always done. So if we're not really changing it, let's try and create from potential. Let's try and create from where we're going. And so Wednesday, we'll do a little bit of work with this. Um, like I said, Mercury's coming in, and it really starts to come in on Monday, where it's actually kind of giving us this um, sense of freedom a little bit. We're going to sort of feel that authentic voice start to come in and start to want to be heard and start to want to um, speak, really kind of loosen up that throat chakra and teach us to loosen up a little bit too, not to be so rigid, not to be so hard. Um, Even using that universal language, light language, whatever it is, if we're just humming, if we're just letting stuff out, it's like Monday is going to be, Mercury is going to want us to sing, to talk. So if the opportunity comes up to go sing karaoke on Monday, I would definitely take it. But also I would encourage you to do a little bit of humming, chanting, singing, listening to music, allowing your throat chakra to really sort of open up and shed some of this old stuff that it's been hanging on to. I can feel it already. Because Tuesday we get into the heart chakra. Tuesday is going to be more of a heart chakra opening day. The sun's really charging up. We have the asteroid Chiron, which I've talked about before, which is all about sort of bringing up the past. So it's kind of like going into, instead of dredging up the past and bringing up all the things that we used to, we're actually going to feel like um, an appreciation for our soul's journey instead of it bringing up all the stuff that was holding us back. I love that, singing a lot today. The throat chakra is opening this weekend. It's going to be a very verbal type of weekend. So you'll find yourself just humming and making weird noises and stuff like that just as it sort of opens. It's kind of neat. Some people have even already been talking about some of the postnasal drip that's happening, or their throat is itchy or even getting sore. They're noticing that it's kind of purging. So it's kind of cool. Um, but on Tuesday, we might notice a little bit of emotion because we're actually going to be the heart chakra chamber is expanding. And this is something that is happening because of a lot of this planetary and solar shifts that are going on. But also because of the work that we've been doing and these realizations that were happening. So where the sun and Chiron in are allowing your heart to literally expand a little bit. So you might, um, this is where I was almost talking about how last year was all about sort of going within. Well, this year it's kind of like recognizing old patterns, but realizing that it's actually really good news because we're transforming them, we're changing them. This is the beauty and the healing about these patterns and about these epiphanies and about these triggers that have been coming through. We're seeing them. We are conscious of them. We are bringing it into our heart and we're doing some work with it, and we're really allowing it to see that this is to better our path. This is to really help our focus. It's really helping us to become empowered. It's helping us to accelerate. It's helping us to transform. And as long as we sort of keep applying this wisdom, it's just going to keep getting better and better as this whole beautiful 8 years starts to roll out. It's it's right at the very end of a Saturn retrograde post shadow. So even the last of we have these post shadows after planets move out of retrograde. This by Wednesday, there's a shift even out of the post shadows. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling it, but as these planets are kind of coming out of retrograde and they're starting to move forward, it's almost like you can feel different energetic shifts kind of happening um, almost every day. But this is kind of a chunk of time that's all about personal responsibility. It's all about balancing out some of that karmic debt, realizing how good of a person you are and how much, if you were to look at, my husband used to always say, the bank of karma. Jackie, you've got so many deposits in the bank of karma. It's time to take a few withdrawals. Like, why don't you? Like, allow yourself. What are you waiting for? But there's been this subtle change that's kind of happened. And I really feel like a lot of us have been noticing it. And this really does have to do with this energy coming in of 2024, really allowing us to kind of see our highest potential and activate that highest potential and work in balance with our highest potential. It's like knowing that we hold the power and that our vibrations are so easily recognized by the laws of the universe that we start seeing these actual benefits happening, not just in the realm of thinking about it. We're actually really starting to see some of these synchronicities coming through on a daily basis, even if it's in the smallest of ways. I I joked on not joked, but on Wednesday morning, I was saying I was triggered and I was grumpy to a teenager and I felt so bad and I felt so bad for like 2 days and I was going to call her. And well, today I happened to be walking and she was coming out of the store and I was like, "Hey, sweetie." She's like, "Hey, Jackie." I was like, "How are you?" She's like, "Good." I go, "I am so sorry for being grumpy to you the other day." She goes, "You weren't." And I was like, "No, I was. I was grumpy." And I gave her a big hug and I told her I loved her. And she was like, "It's okay." There was like our whole machine wasn't working that night and there were so many people that were grumpy. You weren't grumpy. I was like, "No." But I felt myself being like, pull it together, Jackie, like instead of allowing it to totally take over, it was like something inside just is different. And I know you guys are probably feeling a little bit different too, where you're just hopefully managing things a little bit better, but it's been like seriously tumultuous. It's been very extreme for some people. So we actually felt like we weren't managing things at all, but this is like the time where we get to see how the universe helps us out, right? Like how everything is actually all in divine timing and how everything is exactly meant to be happening right now. We are actually ready for it and we are being helped. And so if we can trust that and know that, we can ask our guides, we can ask the cosmic planets, we can ask our angels, we can ask all the helpers out there to help us to create a few, stronger life boundaries to help us create a little bit more power, help us to just really upshift into that light that's happening right now. And it's only going to get lighter and lighter. It's only going to get easier and easier, but we may feel these emotions, so we have to let ourselves feel them. Um, as far as Thursday goes, we have Venus coming in, which is such a beautiful, loving energy, and it kind of allows us to see some of those stale patterns, ones that we kind of allowed to perpetuate, even though, there's so many patterns and so many stories that we were so ingrained with and so deeply taught. These are going to be the ones that from 0 to 18 that really were put into place before we were little. Our imagination and real life, we didn't know the difference until people kind of started to tell us and everybody started to tell us how it was. And just think of all those stories that you were told about how things were, especially about abundance and finances. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that's going to shift and be shed this week is this feeling of unworthiness and feeling of not being good enough. It's like, where did it come from? So many reasons that we know exactly where it came from this week are going to have some light shed on them, but it's going to require a bit of forgiveness and a bit of releasing and a bit of allowing. So give yourself that space to feel the emotions, to do a bit of crying, to do a bit of releasing, to do a bit of what the fucking, to do a little bit of, whatever it is that you need to do to be able to see the truth. And this is what it's all about, is allowing us to see the truth, asking ourselves, is that even truth? Is that, gosh, like, I can't believe how long I believed that for. The things, the ways our parents were, the way our grandparents were, the way our grandparents' parents were. It's incredible the amount of scarcity and things that they've had to go through. Now we see the reality of how abundant this planet truly is and how there's billions of people out there that are your potential soulmate, that are your potential life partner, are your potential business partner, potential client, potential person to be employing you, potential person that wants to be in your life, to share this energy that you are now creating in such a beautiful and healthy and balanced way. And I hope this is making sense for everybody. A lot of talking, a lot of words. So now that we're kind of getting into that grounded outlook of things, how this week is going to look, the planetary supports that we have, I want to take us into the cosmos and I want us to go play in the stars, because coming up to the new moon, you can actually really go out and stargaze and appreciate the stars for what they are. You can see them super brightly because the moon isn't lit up by the sun at all. So the stars just tend to shine and go kind of crazy. So if you guys are ready, I'd love to just take you through a meditation where we choose to shed some skins, shed that old version, anything that's hanging on with that old version, and really move into our truer higher self and go forward into this week feeling the love from Venus and feeling the energy from Jupiter and feeling the clarity and consistency from Mercury. And we just allow ourselves to really get into the field and play together in the super conscious realm, and allow anything that wants to come forward for us today to just allow to come forward and to be shed. And we're just going to ask that in the most divine light and the most healing, powerful, and altruistic light, that we can just connect with our breath together. So get comfortable, find a position that you want to spend the next 15 minutes in, and allow yourself to connect with your body. Feel your feet on the ground, or feel your bum on the ground, or your legs, or maybe your back as it's touching a surface. And I want you to feel what gravity feels like as it's anchoring you in and it's holding you in, holding you onto this beautiful earth that within has these gorgeous light codes, these gorgeous matrices, these beautiful lines of communication between us and Mother Earth. And allow us to just feel those roots start to grow out from our body, those roots that are just going deep down and attaching far into Mother Earth, grounding us, keeping us safe, keeping this constant flow of energy between us and the earth. And I want you to imagine what it would feel like to breathe through your feet right now. If you were to be breathing in through your feet, drawing that air in, imagine how high it can go up into your body. Did it reach up to the knees or the hips? And then as you breathe out through the mouth and just release, relax, and let go with your whole body. Letting go anything that doesn't serve us anymore, letting go of any dense energy, letting go of the energy of the day, and just choosing to be here now. Nowhere else to be, just feeling the air coming in through your feet. See if you can draw it up a little bit closer to your belly button now. Keep on drawing that air up. And as you breathe out, Imagine your body letting go, releasing, relaxing. Breathing again in, imagine that air coming in through the feet, coming up all the way past your belly button, up to your solar plexus. Filling your belly from the feet and just now releasing through your mouth, relaxing, letting go. Feeling your shoulders drop, feeling your eyes soften, feeling the top of your head starting to relax. As you breathe in again, imagining this air coming in through your feet, try and breathe it up all the way to the heart. Filling your heart chakra, filling your chest, filling your arms, and allowing that air to go all the way down your arms into the fingers. And as you breathe out, feel that whole area start to relax, let go, release. And with the next breath, bring that air up past the throat chakra, right up into your head. Filling your whole body with air and oxygen, this abundant oxygen that's always there. And allowing your body to just relax, let go, and release with every breath out. Elongating that breath as much as you can, slowing it down. And now just breathing normally, imagining this reverberation, this vibration starting to increase within your whole body as these light codes start to enter from the earth. Start to go to places in your body that may feel a little achy or uncomfortable, maybe even painful or dense, starting to bring some of that beautiful earth's energy in. And now imagining with this next breath in that you're breathing in from the stars. The stars are starting to light up, they're starting to vibrate, they're starting to create energy that's being drawn down through your crown chakra. And imagine breathing in through the top of your head, this star, this beautiful light, this beautiful cosmic energy. Just allowing this air to enter your body, feeling it come through, feeling it light up all of the extra little spaces, going right down to your little fingers. Notice tingling in your fingers and your arms as this cosmic light starts to enter all the way through your head, through your crown chakra, allowing it to open, allowing it to receive the cosmic light. And I want you to imagine that right now you're just standing out in a field where you're stargazing, you're standing up looking at the beautiful cosmos and these bright, bright stars. And I want you to notice your body as though it feels like there's old things that you've been carrying, there's old stories that you've been hanging on to. And I'd like to ask the superconscious to come in now and help us to clear, transmute, and recode a lot of these feelings of lack, these feelings of scarcity. And superconscious, please understand where we're going. Please understand this new movie that we're ready to be watching. If we were to be placing all of our energy into a movie we're creating, into a life that we're ready to receive, into a life that we know that we deserve, I want you to imagine that you're looking up into the stars and you can start to see images playing in the stars. The stars are starting to vibrate and re-center themselves and actually move to create a motion picture in front of you. They're starting to show you symbols. I'm seeing a horse all of a sudden, symbolizing strength and power. I want you to ask the stars for some signals and some symbols of what it is that you're ready to create. If you were to place all of your intention now on the movie that you want to be your life, maybe it's a movie of travel, seeing all sorts of places. You may see the Eiffel Tower start to form in the stars, or maybe it's something in Greece that you could see. Maybe there's historic pyramids, or maybe there's something that's showing up in the stars for you right now. Symbols of places you want to go, things you want to do. Imagine what you could do with all the abundance in the world. Giving water to communities that don't have it. Actually being able to do something. Actually having the power to change things. Ask the superconscious to help you rearrange the stars, to show you more, to show you some pictures or some symbols of what it is that's coming in this movie that you're about to create. Maybe you're even seeing yourself doing this millionaire morning routine. Maybe you're seeing yourself make these changes where you're committing to getting up at a certain time. Maybe there's a number that's showing up in the stars for you right now. Creating this life that you know you're finally worth, that you deserve, that you are more than capable of hanging on to and smashing. Maybe you're seeing a symbol of a bed so that you can get some rest. Maybe you're seeing the symbol of Z's flowing. Ask for the stars to rearrange themselves and show you pictures of this movie you want to create. And ask yourself now what's holding you back from creating this. Getting out of the scarcity mentality, meaning we're looking for something, and instead stepping into the alignment of this movie that you're creating, stepping into alignment with finding it. How easy would it be to just create this new movie that you're ready to? What would have to shift? What would have to change? And superconscious, please go in and tag and treat any resistance around these limiting beliefs, these not feeling worthy, these not feeling good enough, not feeling like we're capable enough or smart enough, or that we need something else. Please tag and treat all of those beliefs and all of the beliefs that we've been hanging on to, all of the stories. Superconscious, please go in and tag and treat these stories, these false truths that we just are no longer willing to carry with us into this year. Just tag and treat all those in the field and do a massive change history. And superconscious, please tag and treat all those parts, all those really strong parts, the controller, the protector, the inner child, the inner wounded child, bringing them all together, letting them see this movie, see the stars being rearranged for them, seeing where we're going, and noticing when we have to reroute on that GPS, we have to re-enter the address of where we're going, re-enter the image, re-enter the movie. Getting in alignment with that, going down the road that the GPS is telling us to go down, getting in alignment with where we're going. And superconscious, please tag and treat all those part-time personalities just to prevent takeovers and increase more satisfaction for the least amount of pain possible and do a massive change history. And superconscious, please also treat any of those old familial and ancestral stories that have been hanging on, that have been guiding us, that have been weighing on us, that have been leading us. Treat it all down the all paternal lines, as many generations back as it needs to go. Feeling that in the body, wherever it's feeling dense, wherever it's feeling heavy. All of those paternal lines, all those protective father, dark father voices, where we got all of our beliefs from around certain things, especially with abundance. And especially around our own limiting beliefs, just tagging and treating all of that in the field on the paternal side. Ancestral, soul family, star family, planetary families, tagging and treating all of these wisdoms that no longer serve us, but bring forth the wisdom that will help us. And now treating down that maternal line all the way back down all the generations in all of the timelines. The suppression, the wounding, the not enoughness, just tagging and treating all of that. The lack of having it, the fear of not knowing when it's coming again, if there will be enough, tagging and treating all of those fears, all of those stories, all of the ancestral lineage that's no longer serving. Just allow us to bring the wisdom forward in what we want to create. All the wisdom that these beautiful women would want us to have. The ones they intended us to keep, allow us to keep that wisdom. Seeing it all in a different way now. Across all timelines. Do a massive change history around that. Please treat any of the energy centers, the crown chakra, the third eye. Allow yourself to open this third eye now, to imagine this forehead starting to open up. You can maybe even feel the pressure in it right now, almost between the eyes, just above. As you imagine yourself staring up at the stars, at the cosmos, and seeing some of these new life's higher purpose pathways start to really be shined upon. They've always been there. You're now just getting in alignment where you can see the light, you can see the path, just being your best self, your highest self, the highest version of you. And allow the stars to rearrange so that this path can be lit up so perfectly. What is it that you're ready for more of? What is it that you just feel ready for? Finally allowing that abundance to come in. Imagine the good you could do with it. Imagine the things that you would do. How amazing would it be to be able to just drop money off at a shelter without anyone even knowing who it was? How amazing would it feel? Tap into some Taylor Swift energy here, tipping everyone, giving money to shelters in every town you went to, sharing your light. How good would it feel to be able to just have that kind of abundance, to be able to spread love and light farther and farther than you ever imagined? Maybe it would just be to have the ease and flow of your own life. Maybe you don't need to be Taylor Swift. What feels good for you? Being able to just go on a trip, being able to feel grateful when you're paying a bill, be able to tap into that abundant energy. Stop repelling it. Just allow it to flow. And I want you to imagine now that it's almost as though you're like a dragon shedding off an old skin. You're growing bigger, like a crab moving to the next house. Like there's a shift that comes from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And I want you to imagine if you were in a cocoon right now, you've gone through this murky, mucky phase. I want you to imagine this cocoon coming off and you stepping out of this cocoon under the stars as the most beautiful butterfly. or dragon. And I want you to notice what you look like. What do your wings look like? What are some of the colors that are coming in? What are some of the beautiful spots about yourself? What are some of the things that you could achieve as this butterfly, being able to flow freely through the universe like you're meant to? And truly choosing to leave all that muck in the cocoon, noticing the things that are staying in there, some of the limiting beliefs, some of the stories, some of the things that just aren't working anymore. We're leaving that behind. And I want you to step forward as this new butterfly, watching your wings start to expand, watching your light start to grow. And stepping into this fully expanded new version of yourself, I want you to really, really tap in to those things that you're ready to create in your life. Feel into numbers that feel good to you. It feels good to be bringing in this amount per month. And then I want you to intensify and amplify that a little bit and imagine double that. And maybe even imagine triple that if it feels good. If it feels better at double and you just want to expand from there, allow yourself, just feel how good that would feel to just have that amount of abundance coming in every month, and feel what you would do with it. What are some of the things you would create? You could have a chef, you could have a house cleaner, you could have trips, you could have the opportunity to employ other people, you could have a team, you could start reaching so many people in so many different ways. I want you to just imagine, and now another symbol coming from the stars. What is it that the universe, the planetary family, the soul family that we have out there that's ready to just share knowledge with us? Ask for another image to just be shown to you in the stars as they rearrange, giving you exactly what you're looking for. I'm feeling this version of you tapping into your heart, your soul's chamber. Superconscious, please go through and tag and treat any other energy centers, the throat, the heart, in front of the heart, behind, either side, underneath, on top of, and through, cleansing, clearing, repairing, transmuting any energy around that heart chakra as it expands this week. Feeling that safety of the universe having your back, trusting that all is supposed to be happening exactly as it is. Treating the solar plexus, the sacral plexus, and the root chakra, any old stories, any old traumas, any old things that have happened, any original events that have caused any feelings of lack, any feelings of scarcity, any hanging on, not moving forward, fears, tagging and treating all of those in those lower chakras and doing a massive change history. And superconscious, just treating any of the body systems, the endocrine, the skin, the muscles, joints, the nervous system, all of the complex nerve bundles and clusters at the neck, the low back, treating the head, any pressures, any organ systems, respiratory, digestive, just tagging and treating any of the body systems that need it, doing a massive change history on that. Just feeling through the energy systems here. Tag and treat the vagus nerve, superconscious, just resetting, recalibrating, cleansing and clearing. Tagging and treating any of those old sacred contracts, realizing some of those were not working for us anymore, and realizing that you've actually been through them, you've learned the lesson now, choosing to release, let go, cleanse and clear any of those, just shedding and leaving in 2023 any of that past mush and gook that was in the cocoon, letting it go back to the earth, letting it be absorbed. And as this new butterfly version of yourself, I want you to picture yourself as this butterfly in the movie that you're wanting to create, the movie that you're ready to be living every day, the one of your higher purpose, the one where you share your light, the one where you live to your fullest and truest potential, enjoying and making the most of each day, being happy now, being grateful. And we're just going to ground all that into the matrix of the universe and into memories and timelines 1, 2, and 3. And take a couple nice, really receiving breaths, just deep breaths filling up your whole body if you can, of light and love. And as you release that breath, imagine shedding that old skin, leaving it behind. And feel the tingles and the lightness in the back as you do so. And when you're ready, you can come on back and open your eyes. I can feel this tingling almost where wings would be growing out of. That doesn't even feel like my back right now. It feels really, really neat. It feels light. There's a lot of energy that's going to come into balance and sort of shift around this weekend and this week. So just be mindful of how you're taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. I think one of the lessons this week is that it's really time to allow us to step into our spiritual self and allow us to get to know the spiritual work that we've been doing has been making huge shifts and changes. And now the integration of that is going to start feeling more real than it ever has. So notice everything, really be in the realm of all possibilities at all times, and really understand that when things are popping up for you, especially this week, if you're noticing it, it is truly for these hugely enlightening lessons. And it may not be about someone else. It's time for us to be sort of selfish about our soul alignment and selfish about our spiritual development, in that we're noticing things, and it is all about you. We always hear it's not all about you, but it is all about you. Everything that you're experiencing, it's all attraction, attraction, attraction. So why are we attracting that? It's to show us. Maybe it's crazy to see someone that you just don't understand how they work. It's knowing the way you work is what is really going to come into play this week. It's knowing what makes you tick and it's so different for everybody, but it's knowing what is important to you so that you can actually really make the change in the world that you're meant to be here to make. Because we do, whether we have lots of money or not, we're making change in the world. And I certainly know with the people that are here and the people that are watching us, you're a light in the world that is needed more than I think we've ever understood and we've ever known. And so let's tap into that this week. Let's enjoy some of that flow. So it's going to be a fun month. February is exciting. It's even a leap month, a leap year, which I thought was kind of cool because that only happens every 4 years, and that's a cycle too, where it's like we're really leaping forward, just kind of like we did 4 years ago. Things are really this is going to be quite the month. If we thought January was a year, February is going to prove to be much the same, but I'll be here guiding you as much as I can day by day through through these weeks of enlightenment, and it's fun. It's so fun. We've wanted to know this stuff, so it's coming in. Anyways, lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I am going to sign off, and we'll see you Wednesday morning. We're gonna get into a millionaire mindset for Wednesday morning. So be ready with the pen and paper, and we're gonna go for it. Oh, I need to go have a bath now. I love you guys. Mwah. Sending you love. We'll see you all soon. Thank you.